And welcome everyone to the Man Cave. I am Paul Knapp, and you aren't.
Woohoo!
This is season 2, episode number 5, and it is sponsored by. Are you ready for this?
Dr. Pepper.
Tostitos.
Fiesta.
They are gluten-free and no preservatives and no additives, no colors, just like Scuba Pete. Waiting in the green room, I have not one, not two, not three, but 4 special guests tonight, and one on the way. He's not here yet, but he will be. He was washing his gerbil cage or something like that, he said. he'll be with us later tonight.
As long as it's not a gerbil tube.
And if you can't see behind me, everybody, it is festive because it is.
Where's the pinata?
It is G.I. Joe's 60th anniversary. Is it his anniversary or birthday? What do we say to that? Is it 60th anniversary?
It's both.
Both?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a birthday celebration.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
as always, I'd like to thank all my YouTube channels. And tonight, I would like to thank Joseph Productions, who joined, and I subscribed to his channel as well. So, I'd like to thank all my subscribers, and 3 of my new subscribers are Jack Henson, Alex D. Geek, and Tom L. Next week, our special guest will be the one, the only, Ace Allgood. Now, let's talk about tonight's panel, shall we? Let's see. Who should I pick on first tonight? Let's go with.
Hey, Takamata. What do you
Go with this guy here. And this man still holds the record for eating the most Tide Pods in one day. This is Angelo DeAnnabelle.
Woo! Tide Pods, baby. They're like gushers.
I hope your grade class isn't watching.
Clean, squeaky clean.
Squirt gum.
We haven't seen this gentleman since he crashed my internet site last year.
I'm back.
All right. Let's see if you do it.
Look, I'm clothed. It's not my fault this time.
Watch
Are you
those
ready for your
intro yet? 80s bubblegum rock music makes this guy feel groovy, but his dance moves say otherwise. This is Pete Vasectomy.
Oh, yeah.
Did I pronounce your last name wrong? Is that,
Pass the frozen peas.
did I mispronounce your last name? I'm sorry. Did I mess up your last name?
Oh, no. It's Vesuvius, vasectomy, Venezuela.
Oh, okay. Well,
Vecelsius, though, is my favorite.
I got to make a note of that. Not vasectomy. Not. Got it.
Yep.
All right.
So close.
And we haven't seen this gentleman in about 6 months, but he's back. This man has a PhD in sarcasm, and he loves to tell dad jokes. This is Jeremy Milford Sr.
Hi, guys. I'm honored. I'm honored to be back.
Oh, man. It's my
It's gonna be a
pleasure.
great show.
All you guys back on. This is great. And we got one more guy. And this man still hasn't come to terms with the fact that Hasbro stopped making 12-inch G.I. Joes.
Yep.
This is Mr. Jim Egner.
Oh, yeah.
And we still got one guy who hasn't signed in yet, but he'll be with us shortly. We got a lot of people in the chat room already chatting away, asking questions. We got Mike's G.I. Jojo. Yeah. We were watching Scuba Pete last night on Chad's show.
Andy
guys had
and Indy's
Laser
here.
pants.
Andy and Indy.
Yep.
TJC. Can you guys all read the
Gary.
Can you guys all see those chats on the side?
I
Yeah.
can now. Yep.
No big boss Jack yet. What happened?
I know. We might have to kick him out of the AOA or something. He's usually first. Man. Murray Corrigan says, "Good evening, everyone." He's Mr. Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, gaming newbie. Thank you, Andy and Indy. Andy hooked me up this week. I was missing that one G.I. Joe. Remember I was telling you guys the U.S. Marshal from 2000? Well, he sent it to me. He said somebody's selling it on eBay, and I put a bid on, and I won it. So
No doubt. That's
Wait,
awesome.
the U.S. Marshal?
Awesome.
Did you
The
say,
US
I'm missing the U.S. Marshal? And he said, I don't care. No, that's...
I think that was in a movie, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was
Well, we'll still go around the horn and wait for Chad to jump in here. What's new in the zoo? And then we're going to get straight to what's going on with the 60th anniversary of GI Joe. So go ahead, sir. I'm going to start with you.
Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Wanted to mention that had lunch this past week with Sergeant Soldier. He's still around with us. He wanted to say, hey, he's working on some 132nd stuff. Guns of Navarone.
Oh yeah,
Guns
of Navarone.
Yeah, so that's something he's been working on. So he wanted me to plug that. So say hi to everybody. Let's see. We're still collaborating on a mobile modular command unit. So more on that later. So got a lot of stuff I'm working on. I'm doing a whole bunch of 60th anniversary small items and a couple of I think I'm working on some stuff for Angelo. I think I'm working on some stuff for Greg. I think I'm working on some stuff from Robert DeCastro. Just a bunch of stuff going on. Terry, I think I'm working on some stuff for him. So
you need to retire. You need to retire so you can just play with your 3D printer.
Oh man, I just am about to pull the trigger on a vacuform machine. So things are about to get real interesting real soon. So that's
going back.
I've got a list over here. I keep looking at my list. I'm like, should I say that? Nah, you know. So
I don't know.
I could drone on.
Right on. Angelo, what's new in your zoo, buddy?
Well, what's new in the zoo? A lot of flocking. You can see my new headgear that I got going on.
Watch your language. Watch your language.
I said no. This is not because I'm a little insane. It's not hooked up to electricity. Although I do shock myself often when I'm down in the workshop with the flockinator. This is so that I can actually see those 1/12 scale heads that I've been flocking lately. I got, and some of the ones that look like the vintage Joes, they come flesh tone, but they don't really match a flesh tone. So you got to paint the head, then you have to paint the eyebrows, the lips, the scar, the eyes themselves, which are absolutely terrible. So thus the headgear. I was doing a little bit of that before the show started, so it's still kind of stuck to my head. So that's about what's going on here. A lot of flocking, 12-inch figures, the 1/12 scale figures, and then there's school and doing some stuff with school too.
Oh yeah, and the regular work, job.
Yeah,
that too.
Real life. They expect
a lot of needy kids, good ones.
All right, Mr. Scuba Pete.
Hey,
how is the Midwest tonight?
It is great. I just got back from Winterfest, just down the road, and Friday night I scored.
Nice.
The Joe glider.
I saw that last night on Chad's show, man. That was awesome.
I'm gonna remount it in acrylic, so it'll really brighten up the place, and because I gotta give some love for 12-inch Joe.
Yes, sir.
Very nice.
Safari Jeep from 71, and then that's a 64 Joe in there hiding under all the Harrison Ford getup. So
very cool.
But yeah, that's what I'm up to, and then hanging out here and underwater, you know.
Now, I call my garage the man cave. What do you call that thing? Is that your man cave? Do you have a name for it?
Yeah, man cave. What's Leslie call it? Toy room. Go play in your toy room. And I'm like,
go play in your toy room.
Could I have some pizza?
And Mr. Jeremy Milford Sr. from Pawtucket Platoon. What's new in your zoo?
Busy. And first I want to introduce my shirt that my lovely wife, Trisha, got me for Christmas. It's not a doll. It's an action figure, right? Oh, nice. She's always teased me about going into the Joe room and playing with my dolls and so forth. So we all know better, right? We all know better. So a lot of good things, coming out of Pawtucket as we, kind of wound down 2023, looking forward to the new year. And, right off the bat, we started working late last year on a 60th anniversary gig. What can we do? Something different. And it just, I had an epiphany one afternoon to say, hey, I'm going to offer, a completely refurbished 60s and 70s figure in a custom box and just a Joe in his birthday suit. What better way, right?
Yeah.
And threw a dog tag on him. And so far, since we're still in dispute about Joe's birthday, either February 1st or 2nd, we've sold several figures, and we're going to cap it at about 24 figures altogether. So you'll be the proud owner of a 60th anniversary Joe. And I'm just going to show the box real quick, if I may.
Yeah. Very nice.
We've got the I picked up the wrong one first. Obviously, the 70s figure Land Adventure. We have a timeline on the side, dating back to the original Man of Action, and the core 5 figures in the AT line. Then also inside the box here, some nifty stuff, the patent schematic, paperwork, a little surprise gift in there as well, and then the figure itself. Same thing.
Jeremy, will that figure be a flocked figure or Land Adventurer, or is it just whatever?
Yeah, variations. Not always going to be the Land Adventurer, obviously. So, the variations: Land Adventure, Sea Adventure, Air Adventure, Man of Action, 70s Astronaut. That's going to be the additional surprise. So when you order, you actually don't know what you're going to get.
Okay, cool.
You definitely know you're going to get a figure.
Yeah.
And the same in the 60s figure as well. We have the schematic background on the back, the core 4 guys, and then also the timeline, duplicating the 70s box as well, and the same paperwork and so forth inside. And then the variations of the painted head 60s figure, action soldier through action pilot, and you don't know what you're going to get. I mean, that's really what I kind of laid out to do here, is offering something a little bit different. And the figures are, they have some flaws, here and there. Obviously, those minor knee cracks and so forth, but the majority of them are pretty pristine, refurbished figures. So
you got a question there already from Murray.
Yeah, where's Murray at? What is the price point? Yeah, that was my big consideration. How do we price them out? Because obviously I don't have a warehouse full of Joe bodies laying around. That'd be cool, as we all know. And I try to source, and when I source, figures, it's usually a lot at a time, and so we kind of came down to a simple price point. The whole package at $140 for the figure, and again, that's a completely refurbished figure, restrung, cleaned, repainted, reflocked. If we have to put any new body appendages on, we do that as well. And then your box paperwork and the gift. So that's where we're at.
Very cool. So just so that I understand, you're going to have 24 total, or 24 painted head and 24 fuzz head? 24
total.
Okay.
Yeah. We're just going to cap it at 24. I was going to go 64. Oh man, that's a lot, especially when, we're still, doing our, build to orders and, our custom builds and so forth. So we don't want to, relinquish all of our bodies to just one special birthday, let's put it that way. So, but it may go beyond that,
You never want to relinquish all of your body.
Never.
One part at a time. Hey, Stacy wants to know, does that include shipping? I guess in the U.S. maybe, or no? I don't know.
U.S. Shipping, including Hawaii, Alaska, and Puerto Rico. It's a flat standard shipping of $10.
There you go.
And that's USPS ground.
But you're not going to be at the Dallas show, so there won't be any there, right? You plan on selling out before that, I'm sure.
I don't think so. I mean, we have several shows coming up that we can talk about later in the show, but I don't think we'll sell out. I would like to, but and if we do, we'll source more and we'll build more.
All righty. Hey, gentlemen, I got somebody that just joined us, and I got another introduction for you, if you can believe this. This man likes to sparkle and shine and dance naked in his house like nobody's watching. This is Chad from It's Chad.
Very good.
Are you done cleaning out the gerbil cage? You could join us now, or
Yes, I'm done. Thank you.
anything you like to say?
I've been here for like 5 minutes. Cut me some slack, right? I was in the background cracking some jokes, doing my thing, you know.
Well, it's going around the horn, and you're the last one, so you're here. What's new in your zoo? I loved the show last night, by the way. I was watching it. You had some guy, Bobby somebody. I didn't get his last name. Bobby somebody.
Yeah, some dude used to work for Hasbro. I don't, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. There was also another handsome gentleman that's here tonight who was with me last night.
Yeah.
What's new in my zoo? Let's see. I got my Red Shadow figure fulfillments from Skeletron.
Nice.
All right.
Wow.
So I only got 2 of the Geyer Wolf, the Gary head, Gary goggles. Tribute figure. One I opened, one I'm keeping. I got a bunch of the Wolf Troopers because army builders, right? So I got those in. I opened 2 of them. I grabbed a couple more modern Cobra army builders. Why not? Gotta get those.
Yeah, especially
just
when they're
because
like
it's a
a buck.
vehicle, and if it's vehicles in play sets, I'm probably gonna get it. I did get some G.I. Joe Extreme in. I got another one, but I already opened it. And I got this thing. I got it on Mercari. This is the Rise of Cobra Dragonfly.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I thought it was going to be cooler than it is. One, right, that's what she said. I didn't think it was going to be that small. 2, the rotors. You see how they kind of flop out?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that.
isn't Russia actually using those for drones?
They don't want to spin well. And the tail rotor is just junk. Like I really wanted to love this thing, and it's got some cool, little play features. That got the little missile launchers that pop out.
Not my fault. The rotor no work.
But
So, is it toyetic? Is it toyetic, as Kirk Bozigian would say?
the missile launchers are toyetic. The rotors are crapetic. Other than that, I got about 12 more boxes. I did score a 100% complete G.I. Joe Night Force Night Striker.
Hello.
Because I was the only one who bid on it, because on eBay it was listed under figure lot.
Oh wow!
So now I have two Night Strikers.
Gotta love those mistakes.
Yeah. Everybody wins. But, yeah, that's. I don't want to say that's it, but
yeah, G.I. Dojo said the Rise of Cobra Hummer is pretty cool. I don't know if you have one of those.
it is. Yeah,
I've seen it.
That one's cool. And then they redid the Vamp. They made it a 4-seater. I just got a brawler, a complete brawler, which is based on the Hammer, but it's different camouflage pattern. I got one of those, so
Gotcha.
not too shabby.
So before we go any further, I do have one announcement to make, and I see the gentleman is actually in the chat room right now. So I'm going to make this announcement now. On March 4th, we're going to have a special guest. Do you guys all have a copy of this book?
Oh yeah.
Let me bring that up a little bit bigger. This is the one that came out almost 30 years ago. I guess it actually is 30 years ago this book came out. Well, we're going to have the author on March 4th, John Mitchling.
Awesome.
Cool.
On the show, March 4th. And he is in the chat room right now. He chatted a little earlier. So looking forward to having him on and asking him all the questions about, how it's changed over the last 30 years or 60 years, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
But
cool.
he was a big collector and got with Don Levine, who's no longer with us, and put that book together for the 30th anniversary. I'm sure a lot of the older guys like myself have those series of figures. So, obviously, tonight is our G.I. Joe special 60-year anniversary. Who wants to go
All
first, man? Who wants to?
We gotta talk about that anniversary date, because I don't know if you guys saw I know. Okay, we got the first, we got the second, but did you see Kirk Bazigian?
Kirk
was on
Bozigian said it's in
Facebook.
March or April or something.
And he's saying March 8th and March 9th.
Yeah.
Based on when it, but that's not the inception of the figure. If you're thinking about when the birth of a child and what is their birthday. So therefore, when was G.I. Joe birthed? When was it created? When was the first time it was? So is it the first? Is it the second? Is it the
Yeah, that's kind of one of those things. Like if Kirk says it's the second, but then he says it's the second, however, comma, pause for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
If that man says it's the second and the lady running the Joe team now says it's the first, I'm saying it's the second.
But he's saying March. No, he's now saying March. He's now saying March 8th.
That, but he says I celebrate G.I. Joe's birthday on February 2nd. However, comma, then he adds that stuff on the end of it. But when Kirk's smashing out post after post on February 2nd, it's February 2nd.
February 2nd.
And him and Bob Prupa said the second.
Yeah.
So he celebrates it with Groundhog's Day, doesn't
Groundhog Day. There you go.
There you go.
Did you get the tattoo, Paul? I thought you had to get.
I did not get a tattoo, but I did get a hat.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got the hat.
Did Phil autograph it?
No. I didn't get that. I wasn't allowed to get that close to him. But
you get a little bag of pellets before you leave.
Yeah, they're in the hat.
It was a fun time. It was a check in the bucket list. Did it? Probably not go back again. But
John says February 6th.
February 6th. All right. Well, there you go. There's a third answer now. So, wow.
Well, I guess why do we land at the first week of February? That was when the big toy show in New York was going on in 1964. So if we could look that up, we could probably nail down.
That's what I went with.
Recognized as the first introduction to the G.I. Joe.
Yeah, and if you watch the video on the history of G.I. Joe, that's the date they use. So that's one I went with.
So what day did you go with? The second?
I went with the second. But we're
Not
celebrating on the
We're just going to say not the first, right?
Did not use the first. I didn't see that anywhere.
Anything but the first.
So G.I. Joe Day has to be shared with Groundhog Day? Is that?
Yeah, apparently.
February 35th.
There you go. I think it's
You
just
take
a whole year.
Take your Joes outside and they have a shadow.
Well, I guess we could make up a date then. You know, it was a leap year in 64, so it's a leap year this year. So why not February 29th? You know,
there you go.
There you go.
35th.
All right. Next question.
Oh, that was a question. Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I did not. No, I do have a G.I. Joe tattoo. I do not have a groundhog tattoo on my butt. Thank you.
A G.I. Joe tattoo on your butt.
No, I have one on my arm, but I do not have one on my butt.
John Paul, Pawtucket tramp stamp.
That'd be sweet.
Phil
That's
was here.
the free gift. That's the free gift in the box.
That's right.
There you
Take
go.
it to your local tattoo artist.
Temporary only.
It's a lick and stick.
Like,
Scratch and sniff.
here we go. So we're going
This is
down.
how you get banned.
Diminishing returns. It's happening at the moment.
So Logic Blaster, who was watching your show last night too, like I was, asked, "Are you running out of room, Chad, for your collection?"
Yes and no. I redid this whole corner and I filled these bookcases as much as they would hold on each shelf. So I freed up some more space and
Okay, so I have a question. Are you in your garage now, like you used to be, or are you in another? room?
it's still the garage. Look, watch, I'll just.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Now, Chad, didn't you say if you need to relocate, everything goes with you?
Yes.
And you have to start all over again with the setup.
Right.
And is the where you stay similar setup, or in regards to the structure of the building, or is it all random?
because of the size of our family unit, if the military moves us, they can only move us into something the same size or bigger. They can't put us in anything smaller.
Okay.
Is it always going to have a 2-car garage? Unknown. So just kind of run with it.
Do you foresee yourself needing to be elsewhere, or are you here for a?
No, I'm retiring. I'm already on.
Are you retiring in the state you're at, or are you going?
Yeah, I'm retiring where I'm at. Yeah. So when you retire from the military, one of the last things that they do when you do what's called like your final out processing is they will do one full PCS, fully funded, anywhere in the 50 states of the U.S. So like, if we wanted to get nuts, I could say, you know what, PCS us to Hawaii, bye, and then just go, and the government pays for it 100%. But then I'm stuck in Hawaii's economy forever. Yeah. So we're gonna stay where we're at. We're just gonna stay right here, and March 28th is my final day in Uncle Sam's service, and we're either gonna stay in this house or we're, probably move. Just depends.
Looks like Uncle Rico has a question. So
yeah, I saw that. You're not in base housing then, right?
Oh yeah, we are. Yeah, we're on base.
And they let you stay there if you retire?
My wife's still Army.
Oh, she's still in. Right on.
Yeah,
right on.
Yeah, she's infantry too.
Oh, really? Nice. Good for you. Yes, this question is for you, Jim. Have you ever 3D printed anything from the 1982 football figures?
I have not. I'm not even sure what that is.
I don't know either. I know unless the football was in there by mistake and just 1982 figures.
Well, I took it as a soccer,
Oh,
football.
That type of football.
Oh, Uncle Rico.
That's my guess.
From the EU, which would put it football as in American soccer. And the answer is, again, no. Sorry.
No.
But isn't that football?
Sorry, Rico, I tried.
You? I don't. FUTBOL.
Jim Egner's wife is with us tonight. Oh, no, he says pigskin football. So
hi, Angela.
Oh, okay. No.
Jim, was she on with Terry last night or last week on Thursday?
Yeah, that was last week.
Last week, yeah, Thursday.
Yeah.
Very cool.
She had a lot of fun.
Good.
So again, my future project in the next month or two, I want to get the wives of you guys and say, what's it like to live with a collector? Although 2 of you guys or 3 of you guys probably your wives collect just as much as you do, so it's not really.
Yep. Yeah. I went up.
I know your wife said a strawberry shortcake, and your wife goes to every show with you, right, Chad? I mean.
Yeah. My wife's always around. The ma'am's, she's kind of like the shark from Jaws. Like she'll pop in, she'll pop out. She costumes in the finest with me. She collects Baroness, Hooded Cobra Commander, Skeletor, Battle Cat.
Actually, she's a dolphin.
Yeah, no, you're not going to get one from me. No, I'm banished to the Joe room, and that's it. That's about it.
In fact,
your wife's the one I want to talk to.
I got on Chad's stream last night, and Leslie's like, by the way, I just bought some strawberry shortcakes from Brazil and Spain. And I went, well, all right.
So, wait. Now, let me take a closer look at your room. I don't see that stuff in there. Does she have a woman cave? Does she have a woman cave?
She has a woman cave upstairs that is strawberry shortcake palooza now. I've put in all kinds of custom shelving for her. I know where my bread's buttered. I find her boxed strawberry shortcake when I'm out there hunting in the trenches, up in Cincinnati. And so when I come home now, I'm like, hey, here's what I got you.
Yeah. And don't look at what I got me. Here's what I got you.
Don't ask what that cost. That's neither here nor there.
Pete knows.
Yep. Now, those of you that don't remember Scuba Pete, he was the one that crashed my internet site for 10 days last year when he was on because
Russian porn bots,
Yep,
they like your show too.
Trolling him. So if you're not familiar with him, this is not the first time I've had him on. But it is for some people seeing you because that whole one got taken down. So the one thing we talked about on that episode that nobody got to see that I can re-ask since it's kind of new. Are you still the vice president of the
the club?
The club?
Yeah. We kind of go on hiatus in the winter. Shrinkage.
Yeah,
Call it what you wish.
he's the vice president of the nudist colony in Indianapolis, Indiana. If you guys didn't know that, so I just want to throw that out there.
And then the porn bots appeared. That
and
was
there you go.
very well timed.
as
all
soon as
done.
that went up,
I mean, it was like,
and we had Largo on. Remember, we had Largo and William, and William was like, "Oh, you made it to the big time when the
when
bots
you get
were trolling
spammed.
you." And
Yeah, when the sex bots start.
I'm going like, "What the hell's this shit?" And Chad, it was not up there more than 10 seconds, and then the next day my site was gone.
Yep.
And Paul Knapp.
I remember that.
Just
Yep.
nuts.
So,
I do.
good times. Good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You see what Andy
Paul,
and Indy said?
New York Times. Let me pull it up. Well,
I
if
guess
the
that
New
would
York Times says
coincide
it's
with-
so.
Oh.
March 9th.
9th.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what Kirk said.
You know what? I'm going with this guy. He wrote a book about the shit, and he said we're right. It's closer to the 9th, or he said the 9th.
And
Jeremy-
Andy, you're right. Yeah.
Jeremy, you said the
nudies are in
second.
Bloomington.
Yeah, I said the second. I mean, it bounces back and forth, and I've read a lot of obviously articles and John's book and so forth. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm not, birthday is a birthday, and we can just say whatever we want, I guess.
It was 1964, though. We all agree on
It
that.
was
right?
1964, and
We could
I
make it a
will-
whole month from
Yeah,
February
right.
9th to March 9th, and then just cover all the bases, and everybody's
There you go.
good. We're all warm and fuzzy.
Right.
Did Paul? Did you see Play Scale's question for me?
Nope, but he.
MREs. It was about whether your favorite and your least favorite.
Yeah, it says I have a question.
Oh,
for
there,
Chad.
I see it, yeah.
Which is your favorite? That is a tie between chili mac and beef taco. It used to be chicken and rice, but they got rid of chicken and rice. Beef stew's like a close third. Least favorite is the nasty hash browns with all the onions and the omelet. Don't do it. The pizza's weird. MREs are
that?
not what they used to be.
Scuba Pete, that one's for you, I think.
Mission Brazil, right? Yeah. Made by Australia. Yeah, Jeff. But she was just following my lead. The Friday night, I picked up a Mission Brazil figure, so she was just like, "Well, I can get Brazil stuff too."
I could pay that shipping fee as well.
Yeah. So there. Talk got canceled for no good
Thanks for
reason.
following me, Logic Blaster. I do appreciate that. I am back, and this is why the
Thank
chats
God.
are on the side, so nobody can see them anymore.
That's right.
Well, I guess I go. Andy and Indy says we should go for the whole month. I say the whole year due to the fact that it is the anniversary year. With whenever it is when those 10 years, it should be the whole entire year that we celebrate.
Yeah, Disney
G.I. Joe.
does it.
I think that's what we're doing. I think that's what we're going to do. Everybody celebrate for the whole entire year of G.I. Joe's inception.
I gotta say, this isn't like it's not a soapbox thing, but for me, like my personal opinion, oh God, you gotta make me big. Hey there.
Well, you said you wanted to be on the
Your
soapbox.
personal opinion, when you do that, you got to get big.
I celebrate this stuff every day, all day, every day. This is like
Right.
it's what I do. It's all I do. It's G.I. Joe all day, 24/7, even if it snows. It shaped my entire life, my childhood, my career choice, my adulthood, meeting my wife. Everything in my life came from Joe as a kid, joining the military. Here I am now. So it's like it's every day for me. But
All right, Chad, I'm gonna put you on the spot then. 82. What month was the Real American Hero?
what do you
start?
mean?
Was that
When did it
released?
start? When did the Real American Hero start?
What would you call the comic book when it was released? Or
Well,
the
Yeah, are
figure?
we talking the Marvel comic, or are we talking
Well,
the figures? June?
I guess the figures, the 3 3/4 inch figures.
I'm just going to generically say June.
All right, I have no idea. I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
It would
generically
be-
saying June. Yeah.
Well, they were ready for Christmas, right? In '82, right? Or no?
It was. They were introduced, at New York Toy Fair.
I remember they
again-
didn't come out the year they were supposed to because Star Wars came out with Empire Strikes Back.
Back.
So that would have been what, 81?
It was
Empire Strikes
80.
Back or 80?
80 was Empire. Yeah.
Yeah, they
But
pushed
both-
them back, and then they missed the holiday for 81. That's when they were doing. Kirk started redoing the whole. Okay, so we're gonna have file cards. Got with Larry Hama on that. Kirk started introducing the flag points because that was Kirk. The blueprints was Kirk, and then they kind of refined it a little more, and then for 1982. So.
Yep,
very cool. Yeah. Logic Blast.
I mean, I was only 8, but
still
I was trying to do
him
some
on the
math in my
pegs.
head. So I got the Death Star as a Christmas gift in '78. I think is when it came out.
9.
Yep.
79.
Or it would have been 79. Sorry, movie 78.
79.
And I was in 5th grade then. So there's no way. Yeah, I know you got one, but there's no way you got one as a kid too, unless you're much older than I think.
I smashed it with an X-wing.
He did.
I did. Yeah. That's why this one's so important.
But you're not nearly as old as I am, or you just hide it.
No, I was born in 74.
Yeah. So what'd you get? You got it when you were 3 years old. What the fuck? You weren't even old enough to.
That's 5. I was 5.
5. Okay, I'm not doing my math. Don't do math when you're live on the.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, Paul,
Chad was like
you were 5 and your mom bought you the Death Star. What the? You had perfect parents. Awesome parents.
Look, it was Star Wars. We wanted
And
it.
I shattered it.
How
And
we
she
got it.
replaced it like a week later.
Just Jeff says you're actually 65, but you
I cheat. Yeah.
you took the super soldier serum, so you don't age. Well, if you're, I don't even want to ask. I'm not asking ages. Jeremy, are you frozen?
I'm as old as G.I. Joe. Not quite. I will be in October. So we share the birthday or share the year. How about that?
So you never had Star Wars, right? You were kind of
no. My oldest, Jeremy Jr., has quite the collection of Star Wars figures.
Nice.
We started out, with the G.I. Joe figures in '82, and
so your son has all the 3 3/4.
He went to the dark side. Let's put it that way. How about that? So, yeah, he's got quite the collection. I wouldn't even fathom how many figures he has. But no, I was never a collector. I was always 12-inch. Started out, with a painted head. Back in the day. Transitioned into the Adventure Team. Have my original 2 Adventure Team figures, Man of Action and the Black Adventure, still today in the box, which is really cool.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
And then, it all fell apart in 76, 77. And it wasn't until they reintroduced, the Hall of Fame era. And I got the Duke, the Desert Storm Duke, and that rekindled everything for me. So
yeah,
very cool.
3 I guess we're probably at about the 400 mark right now. So 400 figures later, got a little bit of a collection. And I'm in temporary digs right now. We're in the midst of building a new home. And got a new Joe room set up there that is in the planning stages. So then I'll display my collection. Hopefully.
And you'll be on our live stream more often, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool.
Absolutely.
So did you get to design the Joe bunker into the house?
Oh,
with the architect?
Oh yes, yeah. It was
Nice.
an additional room that. My wife graciously has given me, and we're actually going to share the room. So half it will be her office space, and the other half or 3/4 will be my Joe room. So
excellent.
It should be good.
Awesome.
Looking forward to it. Yeah.
So I put this group together tonight so we'd have a mesh of the 3 3/4 as well as the 12-inch, and just kind of. I think we can all get along, can't we?
That's right. I was just going to say. I was just going to say. But now let me ask. With everyone here, I know I collect, a little bit of everything in regards to G.I. Joe. From I was born in '69, so I kind of missed the heyday of the '64 figures. when the Adventure Team came out, I would get, it was Frank and Joe. I would get all the ones that my cousins would blow up with fireworks all the time. So I never had like a new figure. They were all the ones that were pieces and parted together. And then in the 80s and 82, when that came out, I religiously collected every single one that I could possibly find and buy up to about 87. When I graduated high school, I was still collecting. My friends were like, "What the hell's the matter with you, man?" I had a collection of different beer bottles in my room too, because every time we got a 6-pack, I kept one full one. I had the caps, had the labels, anyway. So I had all the 82 stuff. And then when it transitioned back into 12-inch, I didn't really get into too much with the Hall of Fame figures because I didn't like the Barbie look and feel to them. So I kind of skipped that over a little bit, went into the Ultimate Soldier Dragon route, World War II. And then when the 2006 and the Adventure Team, they re-released in Walmart, I started with that. So, but I have every single thing you can imagine, from books, some of the little novels, little storybooks that the G.I. Joe, they came out. Put me up big, Paul, would you, for a second?
Oh, and in case you're wondering who's talking, that's the guy in the dark up there on the front.
I am.
The guy in the dark.
In the dark.
He's literally coming from a man cave. Literally.
I am in the man cave. I gotta get better lighting.
Location.
Well, everything you could imagine that was G.I. Joe. I went and got, here's the Find Your Own Fate books. Even when the little guys, I don't know if you remember seeing some of these little things.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell they were called. They got those. Then you got this.
Yep.
Dollar store.
Dollar store. So you got to go. You got to the 60-cent comics. And when that's how old I am, man. You go to a comic book store, you bought it for 60 cents. I bought it off the rack for 60 cents. And then you have the 3 3/4 inch. And this one they're calling Hawk. I don't understand. Why did Hawk go from a blonde? I think I mentioned this question before. No one can answer my question. I want someone to answer my question. Why the hell?
It's in the comics.
What's that?
It's in the comics. Why he goes from blonde to dirty brown?
It does. What you can tell me what comic and what I have it somewhere. I probably didn't read it because most of them went right in the plastic baggie after I stopped.
Yeah, he makes an offhanded comment about it.
Does he?
Yeah,
okay,
because
if you could find that, I would love to read that part. You got, then you got your painted heads. You got your Adventure Team. You got everything. Every possible thing you could imagine. The carded with the figures. Yep. Now, I just want to know. Go ahead, Paul. You can not put me big anymore. I won't bore you with any more of my other shit. So, excuse me, my stuff. So I'm just wondering, why is it, so I know some people can only collect or only want to collect a certain size or and there's some people get very upset and angry, even within their own classification. So if we're a 12-inch collector and you don't post something that's absolutely positively vintage on a certain site, people lose their ever-loving minds.
Yeah.
And I don't understand the reasoning behind that. I mean, it's a community. It is G.I. Joe. And I don't understand why people can't, as Paul said, all get along. Why is it, this way it is the right way and this is my way, and I don't believe any other way.
You see that a lot within the Real American Hero community as well. So it's not just 82 to 94, kumbaya, let's all get along. So you got like the people who are like, unless it's 82 to 84, get out of here. And they don't want you around. And then you have like the complete psychos that say, if it's not 82 straight arm, get out of here. And then you have a larger community. If it's anything past 1990, if it has any neon or spring loaded, no,
forget.
Right? So you're always going to have the layers. And then elephant in the room, the redheaded stepchild that kind of nobody likes, except for those types, that's classified. Because those ones are like,
hey, I pick and choose.
You need to validate me. And if you say like, oh, that Falcon looks like crap, then they all come at you with pitchforks, man. You cannot say Falcon looks like Matt Damon from Team America, because they will come at you, man. And Angelo, I just got to say, you have good taste, dude.
Yeah, I got the whole series.
I was pulling this out and I turned around and see, like I do a little bit of everything.
Oh, that's old school there, bro.
Yeah, the 45's in perfect shape, no scratches, no nothing. Wow. And I have every.
But you got records too.
Mattering.
I got buddy. Oh yeah, and I even have the cassette tapes too. We would listen to on. Yep.
Oh yeah.
It's in there.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy.
Cassette tapes. Yeah. Hey, I apologize. Gamer Newbie asked a question a while back, and I just seen it. Just getting to it. Are there any G.I. Joe concept figures that you wished were made but weren't?
Tons.
I guess that could be for a 12-inch or for 3 3/4.
Tons.
Chad, what? Throw one out there, Chad. Just throw one out there.
Well, so this is a modern custom made by Mikey from JMK Custom Works. He and his dad worked on Call Sign Longbow. So this is Cadet Deming from the animated series that was never made.
That's cool.
Very nice.
So just Sunbow alone, you have like Admiral Latimer, who replaced Admiral Keelhaul. They never made an Admiral Latimer figure. There's a bunch of other characters. They never made Raven, who was the female Night Raven pilot, the one who always took her helmet off with the long braided hair. Tons. Even vehicles like right off the bat, issue 1 of the Marvel Comics, the Cobra Aspid, that cargo helicopter, never made that. There's tons of stuff. Tons.
All right. Same question for you, sir. Was there any figures, 12-inch vintage era that you would like to have seen that maybe Hasbro didn't come out with before they went to the 1977, 78, 70, downsized them?
I don't know. I mean, I think Hasbro did a pretty good job of covering just about everything. There were a lot of, the adventure team really sparked, a lot of interest in me because again, that was more my era of, maturing. I'm born in 64. I remember that first painted head, but I was very young, when I got him. And then, just, I look back now and especially over the last, 5 years, since 2019 of actually putting these builds together and recreating just about every imaginable set, offered, specifically the adventure team. I really can't think of anything, that they miss. I would like to have seen more, modern, stuff, back in the classic collection. I mean, there were, and I've got a ton of that, with our, Navy SEALs and our Rangers and, figures of that nature. But I think I would have liked to have seen more first responder type stuff, maybe some more, cops and, firefighters, would have been really cool.
Very cool. I would have said the same thing. Yeah, I don't think they did enough with the police, fire, ambulance. They could have done some more of those, but again, they were getting out of the military stuff and getting into the adventure stuff because of Vietnam. So
yeah, exactly.
Because they never came out with a Navy SEAL. They never came out with a Frogman SEAL type. They had the generic Frogman, but
So. I don't know how many of you guys collect much Action Man or pay much attention to what's happening over what was happening on, over in England at about the same time, kind of parallels of what's going on. They had mountain climbers and they had soccer players and they had police and grenadier guards and there was a whole, I wouldn't say military themes as much as it was police and firefighter themed. And it was down to a Highlander guard or whatever. I mean, very specific. And I thought that was just fascinating. And
they got to
do any of that for
talking with Bob Breakin. They got to go and visit the different regiments and take their clothing back to Palatoy to really dissect it and scale it down so it is a perfect copy. I mean, it's pretty mind blowing when you think about it.
Yeah,
what they got to play with.
And I would have liked to have seen some of that sort of thinking. Now, something specific, I don't know. To me, they missed a chance with some space-themed items that they could have easily done. I think that was a mistake. They relied on the Mercury capsule and a rehash of the old Mercury flight suit to really kind of be the space, fill in the gap for the space thing. If you think about how many talking astronauts are out there, that's a huge number of they sold a ton of those things, and that would tell me right there that the kids were starving for some kind of space theme vehicles or something. And you know, and then you look at Action Man again, and they came along with their Space Ranger stuff. You know,
Sargon,
all that. Yeah. So, you know, Hasbro missed the boat on all of that. So
it's interesting how Action Man and Action Force took a lot of the Hasbro Joe ideas and they expanded on them and they put their own kind of cool spin on them. Even when you look at the Palitoy Action Force, the Z Force ATC, it just takes the standard Joe APC and just ramps it up to 11. And they always had a way, like, here comes Action Man, and you're like, man, that's rad. Here comes Action Force, man, that's cool. You know, and they just did it over and over and over.
Well,
Action
correct me if
Man-
I'm wrong, but they're the ones that came up with the fuzzy hair first. Then we got it right.
Yeah, the
And
Same with the
Kung
Kung
Fu grip.
The Kung Fu grip.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's Bob Breakin's hands.
yeah. I mean, I didn't learn that until I listened to Tony on Analog Toys. You know,
Right.
found that out.
Yep.
And then that's how I started finding out more about Action Man. You know, and
It's-
why
it's
did Action Man go longer than GI Joe with the 12-inch figures? Did they not have an oil embargo like we did? Because that's what Hasbro keeps saying. It was the oil embargo that cost.
Right.
You know,
I know
they kept
Action
12-inch
Man
figures going to what 80
82 or thereabouts. Yeah.
right before the 3 3/4
Yeah.
came out.
Because they shrank them in 81,
Mhm.
the tail end of 81.
82 was where they took those.
Yeah, tail end of
best-selling
81
Action
and
Man
82. And
and
then
made 'em-
you started seeing the teams with Baron Ironblood and all that stuff.
Yeah, 83.
The Z
Oh,
Force
yeah.
looks cool.
But at the same time, they weren't so adverse to Action Man as a line and an IP as, no offense, as Hasbro has historically been with GI Joe. They're very GI Joe adverse when it suits. You know, Vietnam War, got to get rid of it. 1994, year after Real American Hero's second biggest year. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of it. We're gonna give it to the guys in Cincinnati who we just swallowed up and let them do GI Joe Extreme, and then killed that. They killed Sergeant Savage before it even made it to stores. You know,
Yeah,
like
I do remember that.
so. I love Hasbro's toys, but I don't need to be a Hasbro brand loyalist, and I can call it out for what it is. Even with G.I. Joe Resolute, it was so widely accepted. Critics, fans, everybody, and they were like, "Yeah, we're not going to follow that up. Screw it."
Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
such
Forget it.
that
Flash in a
cartoon
pan.
was by far the best that they ever came out with. I mean, you know, I watched them when I was a little boy though, but this was top notch. And my sons, we would watch it when it was like the 10-minute clip.
Yeah.
They did that in the beginning, or like they would show you 10 minutes of it, and then 10 minutes. Yeah, that's a great one. That take the comic book and put it to life.
Yeah.
And
And it was brilliant because it could have been set, you know, 3 months after the end of the original, you know, Marvel Animation Sunbow series, and you don't know because Bazooka, yeah, he kind of looks the same, but the only time you see Bazooka is when they find him dead. Spoiler alert. You know, it opens with Major Blood with his heart cut out on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, and you're like,
this is awesome.
obviously something way more
damn.
mature, and it was done so well.
Yeah, and there was
was
no missing with all those shots. Well, there was a few misses, but
And Cobra Commander did not play around. Yeah.
oh, he was bad, dude.
He was not the Chris Latta version that we all
Oh
grew
no,
up
yeah.
with, you know. That's true. You know, he wasn't that guy. So
One of my favorite was the battle scene between Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. Even though the little backstory was a little different, I do like the original. But it was a great backstory, and their fight scene and how they learned from the Hard Master and not teaching Storm Shadow that last 7th step. I was like, wow, that was hardcore. I know Jim and you guys are probably looking like, what are they talking about? If you have an opportunity to watch anything that's 3 3/4 inch Real American Hero wise, watch that. It's G.I. Joe Resolute. It's really enjoyable and hardcore.
Yeah, and sadly,
Well, I'm a stuffy old 12-inch collector, but I've seen a bunch of the Real American Hero stuff. So,
What was
It's
the
just-
line in between that? Was that the
well,
sign?
there was tons. So are
No,
we
the
talking about
Resolute-
between
the
the Real
Resolute-
American Hero and Resolute?
Yeah, Resolute.
Spy
So-
Troops, Valor versus Venom were two of the.
Yeah, Spy Troops,
Yeah.
Valor versus Venom. Then you had the anniversary 118 scale, the modern 4-inch construction.
Yeah.
And then you had Resolute and Rise of Cobra were right about the same time. the live action movie Rise of Cobra.
Yep.
And then you had Retaliation and Renegades right about the same time. And then everything just kind of went off. And then you had that Snake Eyes thing.
Don't go there. Don't go.
Don't go.
Chat.
That's bad. That's a bad place.
Ceasefire.
Do we even count that as a part of G.I. Joe lore or history or no?
No. That's
Well,
that's
there's-
not even like Cobra
It's a
Law
motorcycle
Elseworlds.
movie.
It's just like
There's a couple figures that I think, and
Yeah,
I've
Sigma
seen
six.
some
Sigma
customized.
6 too. I forgot about that. line.
Vietnam.
Yeah, that's good too, Mike.
The Vietnam Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, as Tommy and Stalker, that group, that Vietnam group, that would have been an awesome set to have those built 3/4, 12-inch, even the classified. I know because I do like those guys.
there's a comic 3-pack of them from the
Is there? I
Nam.
think.
Yeah.
I got to look through my stuff. I might have it, but
Yeah, or you can just kit bash customs. That's what I did. I
yeah.
kit bashed a couple of modern customs of them, but they did come out with a comic book 3-pack, and it's the issue 26, and then it's the 3 of the figures.
Okay.
But Tommy's he's a total kit bash, and it's like Roadblock's torso, so
Yeah.
he looks gigantic. It is a little weird. Storm Shadow's arms, Roadblock's torso.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work.
So out of the 6 of us here, 4 of us are going to Dallas.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about for half a minute.
Well,
You
you only
going
got
too?
about 2 minutes left in the show, so I just want to.
Yeah, no, I was, when it is, Paul, that's the last weekend. I still have a week of school left after that. I can't, there's no way I can go.
If the kids haven't learned it by now, what the fuck?
Yeah, but listen, if it's, I have a whole nother week. I can't just go, go there for just 2 days, 3 days or whatever, and then come back.
Answer,
Wow.
just put a movie on.
Yeah.
COVID might be
Just
running
wheel in the
up there, New
AV
York,
cart.
then.
But what I wanted to say is, Paul, if you're going to try, are you going to try to go to Kentucky? Because the boys and I were going to do a just guys kind of little vacation. And I would do July. Obviously, there's no school. I would do July to go to the Kentucky show. And then we could go for a whole entire week and hang out and go to the show.
I can only go to Kentucky again if Jeremy has me there as a special guest.
I will.
Well,
yeah,
Then do that.
you're invited.
Because if I go,
I'm not
Paul,
sleeping on your floor. I mean, I need a room.
That'll work.
Hey, Dojo Mike Dojo slept on my floor when I had it.
I know. We hooked you guys up. Yeah. No, I'd like to do a live stream. I'm definitely doing a live stream next month when I go to Toylanta.
Yeah.
And I was hoping to do one. Hoping to do one in Dallas.
Anyone?
Maybe me and Chad can team up and do something when we're down there.
Anyone hear how Buddy's doing?
Buddy's out of the hospital. He's doing good.
Okay.
And HEC 788 is a little ill right now, so that's why he had a bag out tonight.
Oh man.
So, but he should be back hopefully.
Paul, can you make me big real quick?
Excuse me. Yes, sir.
Angelo, this is for you.
Oh, that's excellent.
That's
Nice
a-
job.
That's
Nice
a
job.
Vietnam Tommy Arashikage. Just
Yep.
made him out of a green shirt.
Awesome.
Storm Shadow's arms.
Cool.
Good job.
That was your custom or somebody else's custom?
Pretty good.
Who's custom?
Mine.
You don't do customs. Come on. You're
What the?
just a collector guy. You're just one of them collector guys.
We're not serious, are we?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no kids. There's no kids watching this show.
I hope you're not serious.
Hell, I can hardly get adults to watch this show.
Do you see my bad as shit 1/18 scale masked rhino right here that I made by hand? No printing, thank you. All
Nice.
greebling. Get out of here.
I was trying to watch your show last night. I clicked on it, said 225 people watching. I was like, holy fuck, do I even have room to even click in here?
There's always room for you.
Yeah.
There's always room for more. Come
Like
on.
I said, I'm if I get 25, I'm fucking happy, man. So we got gamer
I just like to hang
newbies
out.
questions. Logic Blaster still in the house. Adam and Jeff showed up. Thank you guys. The two original guys from the AOA. Appreciate that.
My daughter is watching and says Chad looks like Elmo.
Hey, Paul, Sergeant Soldier's in the house too.
I see that. I'm trying to go back through all these chats are like flying. So what's happening is, I don't know if you guys are watching the chats, but the author, like I said earlier, he's in the chat room right now, and they're all asking him questions. They're not even watching our show right now. So, we're having our little conversation on the side, and I'm just kind of here, So
well, Elmo's birthday was the 3rd, so we got to put that one out there too for Chad and
PlayScale said he's
I guess for Mike's daughter who thinks you look like Elmo, but I can't really see the resemblance.
No,
you're awfully pale.
Maybe if I bring him up big, you'll see oh, there it is. Okay, I see it now. Or are we talking the other bald guy? Are we talking this guy?
No.
Hey, before the show's over, we got to get you to change your mirror image so we can actually see Paul Tuck the platoon there. No. It's on your keyboard. So if you go down to that little settings thing and click it, just click that, and there's one that says mirror, and just click it, and it'll flip it for you.
Yeah,
hey, there you are,
buddy.
Hey, there we're now.
Hey, you joined the rest of us.
Technology. How about that? Wow,
Look at that.
I learned something new. Thank you.
We got to start this whole show over again now.
That's right.
And take two.
Take two.
Hey, Paul,
It's okay.
Paul, I want to show something I built a few years ago, but I don't think I ever posted it anywhere. I may have.
Well,
It would be nice to see, Angelo, if you had some light on.
Sorry.
Could you light a candle?
Holy shit, man. Yeah, that's not happening, man. I don't. Oh, I see. You showed that on our show before.
No, I did not. There's no way I showed this.
Is that
That's
the different one?
This is different. This is the main part of it is from the Small Soldiers. It was a buzzsaw, like had a big blade in the front. The top portion where the figure sits is Big Brawler. I think that's what his name was, wasn't it? It was 12-inch. I don't know if you can see it where he sat in there. And then I don't know where in the world I got that satellite dish looking thing from. I think that was like from Real Hero, something, those figures.
True Hero?
True.
Yeah, True
no,
Hero.
no, there were those little, my boys had them. They had these huge feet. That's all I remember. They had ginormous feet. Anyway, I put this together, and a figure will sit on that. See, Paul, I told you I hate them goddamn mirror image. Sorry. Confusing me.
The next gift box I send you, I'm sending you some flashlights. Okay.
Yeah. I promise the next time I'm on, probably, who knows, you probably won't want me on. I will purchase a light.
Did they look like this, Angelo? Big ass feet?
No, they were huge, like they were squat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then that's
You
not.
talking about emergency heroes?
Something like that.
Rescue heroes.
Rescue heroes.
Yes,
heroes.
thank you.
Yeah,
We
rescue
got
heroes.
there.
Rescue heroes.
Not true heroes.
True.
Not true
Rescue.
heroes.
Hey,
Rescue.
Rescue Rangers.
I'm getting old, so I can't remember my words, and I teach. By the time I'm done with the day, I can't remember my name. That's why the kids call me Mr. D.
I'm just reading these comments they're saying about you in the dark, dude. I might not let you back.
That gray blob looks great. Logic Blaster, it's good to see you, dude.
Logic Blaster's everywhere. Hey, here's the
Yes.
deal. If you can get Logic Blaster on your show, he better come on my show, because I've been begging the dude for like a year. And he's like, nah, I just don't do this. I don't do this. I said, well, you know what? That's my objective for this year is I'm going to get Logic Blaster on my show.
Do it. I'm trying to get freaking Mark Bolomo, and like every couple of months, I'm like, is now a good time? And he's like, yeah, not yet. I'm like, yeah, how about now? No, not yet.
Well, you should try the 12-inch people. They are just like deathly afraid of the internet. I mean, Jeremy, I don't know. I mean, you're one of the few that
It's a
I
strange.
could talk into it, you and Jim, but all the dealers, I mean, well, we got Greg to come on, that was pulling teeth. And Buddy, but seriously, man, they do Facebook and they'll put up picture after picture and great photography. And I'm like, hey, man, let's just get on top. Nah, I don't do that stuff. No, I don't do this. So I think that 5-year gap, I mean, that 55 to 50, it's kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Facebook's as techie as they get.
Yeah. Hey, I don't want to turn
I've
this into
had Dan Klingensmith on like 6 times, and you've seen how that goes.
Murray said, you got a flashlight on your phone, Angela?
Something about he didn't pay his hydro bill or something. Yeah.
I'm trying. I gotta get a light. All right. Let me get my headgear back on. I got lights.
We're not that old, dude. Murray, we're not that old, bro. Some of us aren't.
All right.
Hey,
Now you're
I don't want to turn
just
this to I don't want to turn this to an It's Chad show and go for 3 hours because I know people don't want to watch my show for 3 hours.
See, this is why I don't have to worry about the lights.
You're blinding us.
Everything looks great for Angelo.
Yeah, you're blinding the rest of us.
But you guys look fantastic. I don't get it.
All right, man. So it's time for our random trivia game, like I like to do at the end of every show.
Oh yeah.
And
Yay.
since this is the 60th, whatever we're gonna call it, month, day, year, I have random trivia of G.I. Joe, both old and new. So what I'm gonna try to do here,
All right.
since in no particular order, I'm gonna ask the younger gentleman the older questions, if that makes sense, and the older gentleman the younger questions.
Fun.
And it's true or false. And Angelo, you're kind of sitting in between there, so you might get one of each. I'm not sure. So, same deal though. Everybody gets 3 questions. We go around 3 times, and the winner gets a free ice cream at Dairy Queen for the next month.
For the next 3 minutes.
This is an older question, so it's going to go to one of you younger gentlemen. I'll start off with, say, Chad.
There's a shock.
The original 4 G.I. Joe action figures each had a name. True or false?
False.
That is true. They were named Skip, Rocky, Ace. Ace was the pilot until they changed him.
Ace is still the pilot.
Yeah, Ace is now still pilot. Yeah. So we're
thinking
gonna go with Scuba Pete on this next one.
Oh,
I know Jeremy's gonna know this one. The name G.I. Joe originated from a 1945 movie. True or false?
False.
No help from the audience.
I'm sorry. My neck hurts.
That answer is true. It was the story
Bobblehead.
of G.I. Joe. Yep.
Well, there you go.
And yep. If you read this book, and knowing is half the
Just
battle.
watch Netflix. It's on there too. It's on Netflix. Come on.
I'm going to give this one to Angelo. Angelo, Ernie Powell was a writer and starred in that movie, the 1945 movie, and has a G.I. Joe made after his likeness. True or false?
Absolutely. I have probably 4.
Ah, damn it. You are correct. The figure came out in 2000, and he is a 12-inch figure.
And he's super articulated. That's why you got to have him.
Jim.
Uh-oh.
The voice of
I'm going to go
Cobra.
ahead and give you an answer. It's not going to be right. So, I mean,
The voice of Cobra had a counterpart on the Transformers cartoon. True or false?
sure, true.
That is true. Starscream. Yeah, very good. This could go to anybody. I'm going to give it to Jeremy.
He was also decomposing in humanoids.
Yeah, which is
Oh,
even
wow.
more frightening.
In the cartoon Toy Story, Sid blew up a G.I. Joe action figure. True or false?
True.
That is false. He blew up a combat Carl.
Combat
Carl.
Carl. My bad.
Little trivia on there. There is a vintage G.I. Joe torso that Sid had contorted into some monster. So if you look
Yes.
close,
Oh, yeah?
there actually is a
Absolutely.
G.I. Joe torso.
So actually,
The
that's
torso
true.
and the arms. Yeah.
Because you saw the force modem, so it's actually true. Thank you.
Yes.
It's my show, and I'll play it when I want to.
It is your show, Paul.
Round 2. This is going to go back to Jeremy because it's a 1982 question. Lady J was the first woman released as a 3 3/4 figure. True or false?
I'm going to say,
It's a color. Think of a color.
No hints, man. What the fuck?
I'm going to say false.
Yeah, well, thanks to Angelo. It is false. It was
Thank you.
Scarlet.
Yes.
This could go to anybody, so I'm going to give it to Angelo. In the comic book series, Fred takes over as the leader of Cobra. True or false?
True.
That is true. After believing he had killed the original leader, he took over as Cobra. All right. Jim.
Fred 6.
Oh,
Firefly was originally released with a vehicle. True or false?
True.
Chad?
No, false.
That is false. He was not.
Nope.
I said that with all the confidence in the world, too, didn't I?
Right?
In retaliation, he came with a vehicle.
Hey, Chad, who was on the cover of the box for the ferret? Was he on that?
Storm Shadow and
I don't know why I'm picturing Firefly on it.
Storm Shadow for sure. Maybe Storm Shadow and Firefly, but Storm Shadow was on it.
I'm gonna have to check
The
it out.
chat can actually,
Yeah, the chat always knows.
Yeah. because
Yeah,
the
go
chat
chat.
has Sergeant Major Google at their disposal. So
Right, exactly. Hey Siri.
yeah, he was on the night landing box for sure. But the ferret,
Sorry, Paul. I just because once you said that about Firefly, then I started thinking, did I ever see him on a box? Because no one came with the ferret. It was a smaller vehicle.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it was one of those smaller price point vehicles. Yeah, he was on the back of it with Storm Shadow. He was
Okay.
riding bitch. Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
throwing
Fireflies.
bombs.
Firefly's holding on to Tommy like, oh, you smell like bleach. Mm.
And just to remind you, we have a 14-year-old watching the show tonight. I just saw. So
Bleach. It's good.
Bleach.
Scuba Pete, you're up. Scuba
Those
Pete.
aren't nunchucks.
Round
Those
two.
aren't nunchucks.
We're still on round 2. I can't get through this shit. Walmart requested to bring back the 12-inch G.I. Joe line in 1991. True or false?
Correct.
That is false. It was Target.
Target.
1991. So this
Target.
next one's got it. Who's left from round 2? Just Chad? Everybody had 2 questions, Chad?
Mhm.
Some of the earliest G.I. Joes that were made had shrinking heads. True or false?
Shrinking heads.
Shrinking heads.
I know their thumbnail was on the inside. I'm going to say false.
That is true. There was not enough
Pinheads.
plasticizer put
Pinheads.
into the mix.
Oh.
So if you get one of
They're
the ones
called
from
Oh,
pinheads. Yeah.
Pinheads. Yeah, well, you can
Pinhead.
see a little point at the top. Conehead.
this is last round. I'm going to
See,
go
I
back
just learned something.
to. I'm going to go back to Scuba Pete
Uh-oh.
or Scuba Vasectomy, however you want to.
Ouch.
Chad missed the introduction. Chad missed the introductions earlier, so he doesn't know.
What's wrong with a vasectomy? I had one. They're fun
Grant-
for everybody.
Grant,
They're great.
Eisenhower, MacArthur, and Bob Hope were released as G.I. Joe figures. True or false?
True.
That is true. They were all in 12-inch lines. I think
Yep.
between 1998 and
That
2000.
Bob Hope figure's cool.
Yeah. Angelo, you're gonna know this one. I can't give that to you. Snake Eyes wears a mask because he mourns the loss of his hard master. True or false, Angelo?
Oh, absolutely false.
Do you know
Yeah,
why?
that
he
poor
wears a
face
mask?
got blown up a couple, 2-3 times. One helping out Scarlet out of the helicopter.
That's what he
Good
said. He
part.
burned his face out of a helicopter. Is what
Yep.
what I have. Yeah.
First mission.
Yep.
Jim
Uh,
Wez, spelled W-E-Z, was one of the Dreadnoks. True or false? Wez.
I thought Wes was the motorcycle guy in Mad Max, but anyway. Road Warrior.
So you're gonna say false?
What was
Or
the
true?
question? Yeah, false.
No, that was the question.
His full name was
Question was-
Wesley.
Wez, short for Wesley. Yeah, Wez was one of the Dreadnoks.
I think it was Wiz, as in he had
Yeah,
He's whiz.
be more appropriate.
However you want to pronounce it. True or false, Jim?
Wes, false.
That is false. You are correct. That is false. So who am I
No, I'm
missing?
doing better just wildly guessing at it than I am
Yeah.
just, trying to
Wes and his brother Tinkle.
I have one question left. Who didn't get their last round question? Was it? Oh, Jeremy. All right. Well, you're probably going to know this, but you're definitely going to know this. You make the fucking boxes. In the original G.I. Joe logo, there is a dot above the J. True or false? Like J dot,
No, false.
That is false. What is there, sir?
I don't know. Let me look at the box. There's a head.
There's a soldier's head. There's a soldier.
There's sometimes a head.
Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soldier, pilot, Marine,
There's some type of head there in place of the dot.
sailor. Right. Yeah. Something like that.
Well, that's all them internet questions I have for you gentlemen tonight. Angelo, expect a box from me. It's going to have a bunch of lights in it for you for next. Don't forget, next week I have Ace Allgood. That's another gentleman you want to have on your show, Chad. Interesting gentleman. He's always on Greg's channel. If you watch Greg Brown's,
yeah,
he's a plethora of information when it comes to vintage GI Joes.
He's old school though. I think he's only 12-inch, ain't it?
Yeah, but I mean he knows his shit.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's going to be in Dallas. He always goes to the show.
Oh yeah, he'll be there.
Yep.
Well, now I know they had shrinking heads. So whatever.
See? Yeah, I didn't know that.
Learn something new in our show.
You even had the gummy heads too. There's some of them were gummy.
Lifelong learning.
Don't forget March 4th, folks. John Mishlig, the author of this book, will be on the show. So I'm looking forward to talking to him, how it's changed over the last 30 to now 60 years. Remember, that book is now 30 years old. Can you believe that? Crazy.
I remember when they came out.
Yeah. So, Jeremy, that makes you like 90 years old or something, right? Is that what you said?
Pretty close. Yeah.
All right, guys. Everybody have a great week. Don't forget, this is G.I. Joe month. Woohoo!
G.I.
Joe.
Yep.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys.